Today, we'll explore the key trends defining the future of the industry.
Many users, they not come to the platform just for this transactional part. They come for having this feeling of being part of community, being part of some entertainment kind of thing. And this is ecosystem. Those brands who will invest in this direction will benefit very much.
I think it's more getting about trust, because there are like thousands of operators right now, and when choosing a brand, you need to have some trust.
Why has responsible gaming become such a significant industry trend?
Users become more aware of these tools, and they really choose those operators who provide an environment, tools, services, everything around being responsible.
I think it's about not just following trends, but creating trends.
Welcome to another episode of Procast by Toto, a podcast where we discuss the most exciting topics of iGaming with the people that know the industry best. The gaming and entertainment industries are evolving faster than ever. New technologies, changing customer expectations, responsible gaming initiatives, as well as the rise of ecosystem-driven brands are reshaping the way companies operate and engage with their audiences. Today, we'll explore the key trends defining the future of the industry, how user behavior is changing, and what brands need to do to stay relevant in an increasingly competitive environment, with Totogaming's Chief Strategic Projects Officer Hasmik Gevorgyan and Hovhannes Danielyan, the Product Positioning Manager at Digitain. And I am Nare, Khachatryan, Business Development Project Manager at Totogaming, Romania. Okay, let's speak about the new generation of users. So what do you think, what do the new users, this new generation, look for beyond products, bonuses, and promotions? And how are personalization and experience influencing the brand choice today?
I think we live in a world where user attention is the main compass. I may talk about things that from first sight seem unrelated to iGaming, but I think that modern users value more transparency, being secure, and staying with a brand that shares their interests and preferences, builds communities, and helps users to interact with each other. So I think these are the main factors that will help operators build a strong community of engaged and loyal users.
Nice. Thank you, Hovhannes.
I think the new generation of users in general, like we're talking about Gen Z, like the newer part of millennials who are just getting into the iGaming. I think it's more getting about trust, because there are like thousands of operators right now, and when choosing a brand, you need to have some trust. And the trust doesn't come just from licenses and, like knowing the brand or having heard about it on TV. It's more about how the brand treats you. So it's about, let's say, fast and reliable payments. So it's about faster deposits, faster withdrawals, more importantly than deposits, obviously. And when we're talking about brands who offer faster payments, faster withdrawals, they usually have a lot more retention. Like 30-day retention rate can vary by 15-20%. And when we're talking about LTV, it can also be much higher, because the customers stay with brands that offer faster payments. And it's also a lot about novelty, because again, there are just the same pack of games going around all the time in all the casinos. And if you have some new games, new ideas, like if we're talking about the sportsbook, if you have some new markets that nobody else offers, that just cuts you through the noise. And
a new way of delivery, right?
Yeah.
Because, you can.
Definitely. Yeah, it's not about just the new product. She's right. It's
built around the preferences and personalization of the users.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's about building the trust and innovation as well.
Yeah.
That's the core aspect.
Exactly.
Totally agree. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on. We're now living in an artificial intelligence era, let's say. So what do you think? How is AI changing the way companies interact with and understand their users? How do you see this?
Yeah, I think AI is just getting a lot more presence right now, day by day, in the iGaming industry. And it's not about just the operators, it's about the B2B providers as well. So every single company in the industry is just relying more and more on AI. I think when it comes to the operators use AI in just a bunch of ways. When like they can use it for customer support, the very basic AI chats, when the customer has to ask a question, they get a reply by the AI. But I don't know if how reliable that is, because if we're talking about VIPs, the VIPs don't like talking to AI. They like talking to like a person they know, a VIP manager who cares about them and doesn't just give generic responses. And also AI obviously works in terms of recommendations. Like if I log in, I want to see content that I'm interested in, not just content that just appeared, or let's say a content that I've seen before. So I want to see content that is based on my previous interactions with the brand.
Yeah, agree fully. And I would like to add that besides the trend, there is an interesting research done by University of Nevada, Las Vegas, joined with KPMG on AI industrialization within iGaming. And this research suggests that the companies are relatively with low maturity level of utilization of these AI tools. So the score is 45 out of 100. So this means that AI is not that much integrated into core processes. And yes, we have very nice cases. And in Totogaming, we are also delivering these kind of projects towards customer support, automation, personalization, both content, promos. There are lots of cases, fraud detection, and also within responsible gaming, AI is really helping to identify early signs of harmful behavior, and we see very successful cases within the industry. But this shift will go with a higher pace, I suppose, because we are moving from AI-driven to nowadays AI-native, and the next comes AI agentic, having more autonomous agents within the operations. But overall, I would suggest that the technology is not a goal. We need to clearly identify what kind of benefits we have. Exactly. And the benefits come from process optimization and from delivering higher value to our users around these personalization things and around building everything to better tailor to their preferences.
So maybe what you're saying is directly linked to my next question, which is like we basically spoke about the need for innovations to stand out as an operator, right? And then we talked about artificial intelligence and the use of AI. But how can companies identify which innovations to invest in? How do they do that? How they choose among all the innovations?
Well, yeah, if I may jump in here, I think it's about not just following trends, but creating trends like on your own. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Setting the trend from your perspective, and I think the companies that have actual research and development departments, they do better nowadays because they actually get what the users are starting to want. Like if we're talking about like novelty again, we look at the at Polymarket, at Kalshi, right? And these weren't actually things that the market was talking about. Nobody was like, oh, I want like actually trading markets that would look a lot like betting. It was a need artificially created and covered by Polymarket. So it's more about understanding what the market may lack. And not just following what the market may talk about.
Okay, so reveal the needs of your customers and finding innovative solutions to these needs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And reveal the needs that they don't even know exist. So I didn't know I want Polymarket. I didn't know I need Polymarket. But when it came forward, I knew I needed it before. Yeah.
Next up is the responsible gaming topic that I want to tackle. So what do you think? Why has responsible gaming become such a significant industry trend? And do you think the responsible gaming can become a competitive advantage rather than being simply a regulatory requirement?
Well, I strongly believe that as the industry grows, and we have this positive trend over upcoming years annually at 12%. We see that thus the responsibility of operators, the responsibility of operators also grows. And this becomes because of, I clearly see that there is a pressure from social side, and society really calls operators to become more responsible, to provide this security, a more secure environment to their users. And also the research done by European Gaming and Betting Association, another research from American Gaming Association, suggests that users become more aware of these tools, and they really choose those operators who provide an environment, tools, services, everything around being responsible, and they are clearly responsible. This is not part of the PR campaign or marketing thing, but this is based on how they deliver this communication, tools of self-exclusion, deposit limiting, timeouts, and everything around the users.
Mostly it gives the sense of safety, and that's what the customers are liking.
It's safety and building trust, obviously. And looking back, if I may add, looking back a couple of years ago, I would see operators mostly trying to avoid responsible gaming as much as they can. Now they're trying to jump in there and try to have as many responsible gaming tools as possible, obviously not going against their best interests, right? And if before, like if a couple of years ago, it was the regulators who were pushing for it, now you can see brands who do not have any licenses, like we're talking crypto casinos, right? They do not have a license, they do not plan to get a license, and yet you see a lot of responsible gaming tools on their website. So it's becoming more about building trust around the brand than it's becoming like a check mark of, you know, meeting the requirement of the regulator.
Totally agree.
For sure. That's why those operators who will really invest in responsible gaming tools, communication, and trust building will benefit from in the long run, for sure.
And if I may add something else, in regulated markets, especially in Europe, responsible gaming tools are getting more and more innovative, right? Like if we're talking, let's say, about Poland, Germany, like the panic button thing, like it 2 years ago you couldn't imagine it, right? A couple of years ago you couldn't see it. But again, as the player behavior changes, as you start to understand the player behavior better, the regulator also starts finding new ways to protect the players. But again, it's not about protecting the players from brand perspective only. It's about building trust that I'm ready to protect you.
Yeah. Very, very insightful. Thanks so much.
And that many brands also have specialized customer support, having psychologists in a team and so on, helping people who really suffer from these kind of things. And not only helping those who are already kind of addicted, have kind of addicted behavior, but also tackling those early signs around. And also based on the research, like 2 to 3% of users are those who are really addicted from the total base. But even if this share seems lower, but the social impact is very much high. That's why we all invest in this direction, and hopefully the industry stigma and opinion from industry, from the society side, will also change based on these kind of shifts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just an addition here is that Totogaming is also very, very strict about this aspect, and we are collaborating with Responsible Gaming Association in Romania, meaning that this association provides us with psychiatrists, psychologists that work with our customers as well as our customer support to help them deal with some scenarios, right, and some specific customers, which is, of course, great.
Yeah, that's actually great.
I mentioned previously that we are now living in a period again where we experience the rise of ecosystem-driven brands that are reshaping the way how companies treat their audiences, right? So let's talk about ecosystems. Why are gaming brands increasingly moving beyond their core products? Why is this happening? And do you believe that the future belongs to ecosystem-driven brands rather than standalone companies?
Okay, so what we see recently, there is a clear convergence between sportsbook, media, and social experiences. So we see all these trends in iGaming. iGaming platforms are not only transactional, are not only for placing bets or playing games. Many operators invest in social experiences such as commenting, liking, sharing information around the interests, sport games, sport events, everything. So that's why many users, they not come to the platform just for this transactional part. They come for having this feeling of being part of community, being part of some entertainment kind of thing. And this is ecosystem. This kind of features and functionalities and trends build this ecosystem part. And yes, I strongly believe that this trend will grow. And those brands who will invest in this direction will benefit very much. Of course, this is not an overnight thing. You need to have
takes time.
Build platforms, build all these functionalities around. But we will see this happening more and more. And in Totogaming as well, we are taking very clear steps towards this direction.
Yeah, definitely. And in general, we spoke about the feeling of community. And Digitain, for example, to a lot of our partners, we provide a tool called the Sports Chat. And the Sports Chat does this job better than anything else, right? So to explain in short what it is, it's about the sportsbook. Obviously, when you enter a specific event, let's say you're watching Barcelona play Real Madrid, there is a literal discussion going around the game in the sports chat on this specific event, right? And you can communicate with the other players who have placed bets or who are thinking to place a bet on this event or who are just watching this event. You can see the bets that the others have placed, so they can share it, and you can, discuss it with them.
By the way, we have it already.
Yeah, of course. Exactly, yeah. Of course, Totogaming would be the pioneer to use it.
Yeah, lots of engagement among the users,
Yeah,
it's
an incredible tool, and we've heard not just from Totogaming, but from a lot of our partners that it does create the feeling of community. And if we're moving past Digitain and Totogaming, a lot of the novelty in the iGaming market is the crypto casinos, right? A lot of the crypto casinos right now have their own chat, and it's integrated within the platform, not just the sportsbook, right? So the players can communicate, and what else? They can tip each other. So let's say if I told you to place a bet on Barcelona in that game and you won, you can actually send me a tip through the platform.
Yeah.
So that's actually a pretty sick
That makes
feature.
it more interactive.
Exactly. And from a business perspective in general, building an ecosystem does give you an opportunity to cross-sell, diversify your revenue. Obviously, if one part of your business, sometimes goes down, the other part can lift you up and maintain you for the time being.
Thank you for joining on this discussion on the iGaming trends. And thank you for watching us, and see you on the next episode of Procast by Toto.